Trello 101, we're back with another episode, and we'll take it from where we left off on workspaces, what Trello does, and we're going to look at boards, lists, and cards in a very brief way, not in detail, and roll the intro. Well, let's jump right into it. We have our interface here, and we greet it with this screen. At the bottom, you might see templates. I've closed that, but we're gonna not look at that yet, but we're gonna create our first board. Yeah, that's fun. We click on create our first board. We're greeted with a few options that we have here. We have create our board, we have backgrounds, you can upload any image, you can use any images that you want, or you can just use a plain color. I prefer plain colors as it doesn't distract from the actual setup of your board, so let's go with that. We have our board title, workflow. We'll see that the workspace is listed as a workspace there that we created in the previous episode, Trello Workspace 2. Now, our visibility is workspace. What does that mean? That means all the members on this workspace that we could have added in the beginning, or you can add it even now, like was previously mentioned, we can now create our board. Very simple. Look at that. We have a board. Now, what does a board need? Well, a board needs columns to put things in. But the word for column on Trello is lists. So let's go ahead, add a few lists here, and I'm gonna just add 3 lists. We're gonna add jobs required, or jobs card, job cards, jobs required, work in progress, and we're gonna have a last list that would be called jobs completed. There we go. A basic setup, 3 lists. Doesn't need to be complicated. We have 3 lists on our boards. At the top there, you'll see an invite button that you can invite members onto this board. All members that are on the workspace have the ability to join this board. But you can also invite anyone that is not on your workspace to join this board. So you maybe have a client that needs to give approvals, or an outside sourced agency that helps you with the designs. So let's see here on the lists, we have add a card on each of these. So let's add a card, and we won't go into depth or detail on how a card really works on this episode. The next episode we'll talk about cards in more detail, but let's create one. Let's create a set of 3 cards. Here we have 3 cards in our list. So remember this order. We have a workspace where there are members inside. From the workspace, we have boards, which also has its own members, but all workspace members can join any board. But anyone from outside can be invited to this board. Then in the board, we have the lists. The lists are there to organize your cards, to make it a little bit more organizational. So that's the purpose of Trello, just visually seeing what needs to happen, when it needs to happen, and how it needs to happen. So we have our cards in the lists, and that's our last part, the cards. These can be very, 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 very useful, and you can store a lot of information on it. You can change the colors of the cards, you can change the covers of the cards, you can add different members to the cards. If you need to do something, you can even comment on the cards. And we'll have a quick look here. We'll open logo design, and here we have it, add to card on the right hand side. Very simple. Members, labels, checklists, due dates, attachments, covers, anything that you need to add to this logo design. So we have a description of our card, a little bit of a brief summary of what this card is about, and then you see there underneath activity. We can make comments, we can add people, we can talk to specific people in the comment section. That makes it very easy to track what is happening on the logo design card. Now the designer has seen the prompt, and this is how simple it is. It's literally click, drag over, work in progress. Now we know this card is work in progress. The designer is busy with the design, so we can track it in that way. Then the designer finishes it. We maybe have a second or a third or a fourth list that has approval or minor adjustments or anything like that. Really customized experience, a really customized experience. So the job's finished, logo design, jobs completed. You can track all your jobs that you've completed over the years. There's no limit, or I haven't found any limit to the amount of cards that a list can have. And images can be dropped in there. On the free version of Trello, you have a limit of 10 megabytes that you can upload an image, but on the paid version of Trello, you can get much more out of it. So that's been a very basic overview of lists, cards, and boards, but we'll go into depth on each of these ones in the future. And I hope you liked the video. You're from Nuka. We're gonna make more videos about Trello, and you can surely follow if you want to see more. And be sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and we'll see you next time.